So Daniel Marins, I go away for a couple of weeks. I get married. I go on a honeymoon, and I come to find out that all these things that I love, Ikea furniture, Sweden, meatballs, horses, they all come together to freak me out. Horse meat served in Swedish meatballs. What's going on with this?
Well, David, it's the latest development in an ongoing horse meat crisis all across Europe, including that's affected 19 countries. It's believed that horse meat, particularly that was produced in Romania and other Eastern European countries, somehow was brought into a blend of different cow beef in many different meat distribution areas in European countries, presumably to save money. And it was just especially culturally shocking that at an IKEA in the Czech Republic, at that wonderful IKEA Swedish food cafe, they found horse DNA. I believe it's equine DNA in the Swedish meatballs. And this was a real shock.
And here's the thing. I mean, all, of course, to try to make money, that if you can get meat or, add to meat through really cheaper products, that's the incentive for people to do this, as gross as it is. There is still that incentive in the United States for meat suppliers to put in some sort of product that isn't really meat, that is much cheaper and may gross us all out, but it doesn't cause any health side effects as far as I know, but it's just culturally disgusting. What's to keep this from happening in the United States?
Nothing. I mean, the United States Department of Agriculture, the meat inspection, rather the Food and Drug Administration, I should say, the FDA, the people that are responsible for inspecting our meatpacking facilities. Look, if we're going to talk about causes, it's globalization, right? Mm-hmm. Within Europe, there's an entire free trade zone, and there are just supply chains that individual countries with their individual regulators are no longer completely in control of. And the EU apparatus was not sophisticated enough to keep this in check, to track this down. We've had to be fair, in the United States we've had toxic spinach, right? Bad meat, bad tomatoes, and that's all in many cases from a similar phenomenon. A lot of that stuff is imported from Mexico. We don't always have the best oversight over those supply chains.
And I gotta say, if people are grossed out by horse meat, or the prospect of horse meat being part of your hamburgers or meatballs, I mean, all folks need to do, if they really want to reconsider the state of the U.S. food industry, the meat industry right now, is take a look at any one of the many documentaries that are out there about what really goes into the ground beef that is served in, whether it's school cafeterias or hamburger joints across the country. I mean, there's a reason why so many of us look for 100% ground beef or organically fed ground beef, or hot dogs that are not made of scraps but are made of 100% ground beef, because the paste that they put together to try to put together some of these sausages and patties and some hot dogs, it's disgusting. It's gross. And anybody who sees this stuff will say, my God, I'm really eating this stuff?
Right. I mean, not just that, the hormones that we give to the animals, right, the antibiotics and everything like that. Some of the conditions in these factory farms, we believe that there is feces that often makes it in to the meat packaging process. It's outrageous. And actually, the Europeans generally are ahead of us in that regard, that they've kept a relatively more agricultural system in terms of the way the meat is actually raised in a natural way and in a humane way. But
folks, look, I'm with you. I mean, the way that the way that we treat chickens and cows and overcrowding in some of these animal slaughterhouses is just revolting. But when you're eating a hamburger, you're not really thinking about that. But for folks who want to take action on this, and we're the show where we like to tell you what's going on in the world of news and what you can do to influence outcomes. If you're worried about horse meat or any other strange byproduct being somehow put into your meat here in the United States, contact your member of Congress. Tell them to do some oversight in the United States Department of Agriculture or on the Food and Drug Administration. And oh, by the way, dealing with the sequester, that might also help, because there are going to be cutbacks at all these agencies that are supposed to do these inspections and try to keep this from happening in the United States. But there's a lot, folks, that you can do to try to make sure this doesn't happen in the United States, and that is let your members of Congress know and tell your friends and family that, yes, right now it appears that this is just contained in Europe, but there are certain safeguards that we need to put up here in the United States if we're going to keep this from happening here at home. We have just a terrific, terrific show. Daniel and I have a great show coming your way. We're going to be talking about the sequester. We'll talk about some of the hearings that have started in Congress about gun control. Fascinating hearings this past week. We'll also talk about some of the freak out that Republicans had over the Oscars, particularly Michelle Obama, the First Lady of the United States. She made a surprise appearance, and Republicans didn't like that. Also, special thanks to you, Daniel Marins, for doing a stand-up job last week and substituting for me on Take Action News. Great stuff. And by the way, folks, you can always watch us on YouTube or sign up for our podcast, Take Action News. We begin the show with our syndicated stations starting now.